Hi traders, this is Cynthia of Day Trade Forex bringing you a training video to show you how to set up your three charts for the three time frame chart setup and also how to turn these three charts into profiles so that you can very easily choose the profile three chart setup according to what your trading strategy is going to be when you sit down to trade. So I've created already a swing trade profile, which we're looking at, and I've also created a day trade profile, and I'm just going to show you how you can change these and how to create a scalping profile. So this is for trading out of three time frames. This is how I trade. This is how you should learn how to trade if you aren't already doing it, because it really increases your win ratio. My new Easy Color Trend and Flat trading system gives you the colored boxes, which is an additional visual aid to help you determine what the current trend is. And only by looking at the higher time frames can you look back and see, relatively speaking, if you're at the high of the price or the low of the price or somewhere in the middle. And that's why I think it's very important to trade out of three time frames, and the highest time frame, whether you've set up a profile for swing trading like this is, or a day trading or a scalping profile, you always want to first look at the highest time frame to see what the major trend is and, relatively speaking, where the price is. Now for swing trading, you do want to look at the daily. I know some people like to look at the weekly, but I don't really think the weekly is that relevant. Well, I don't use it. Maybe somebody does. I'm sure somebody does. But for a swing trading setup, I think it's sufficient to have your daily chart be your main trend chart. And this is one way that you can show the profile setup with the highest time frame on the top, and in the middle is my 4-hour time frame, and in the bottom is my 30-minute time frame. For me, this is what my swing trade three chart profile setup looks like. And you can see down here in the very, very bottom that it says Euro USD swing M30, and then it goes on to say H4 and daily. So I put the word swing first because this is too long and it gets cut off. That's how I create my profiles. There's ways you can change this profile to a different currency pair. So I'm going to change this to the pound US dollar, and then we're going to save it as a new profile, and that way you can see at the same time how to easily change the currency pair and create a new profile. So I have my market watch open, and here's the pound US dollar. So first of all, you have to select the top chart by clicking in it anywhere, left mouse clicking, select the pound US dollar, and then just hold your left mouse down and drag it over. That very quickly changes the chart from Euro USD to pound USD. Now place your cursor, left mouse click in the middle window and drag the pound US dollar. Now that's changed. Now left mouse click in the bottom window and drag the pound US dollar. So now we have a new three chart profile, three time frame profile, ready to save as a brand new profile, which you'll be able to see it down here. The name will change because we're going to rename this. So the way that you name brand new profiles as you create them is you go to the top left corner and click File and click Profiles, click Save As. So we're going to save this with a new name, but we can cheat a little bit and use this and just change the EUR to pound GBP, Great British Pound, and then save it, and that saves our new swing profile. And now you can see the name has changed down here. Now if you want to switch back to the Euro profile, just click right here and just choose your Euro swing. And there you go. Now you're back to the euro. Say we want to switch back to the pound swing. Go down here, click pounds. Okay, now that changes your template. So now I've already created a day trade profile with the Euro USD. So let's click that, and I saved it slightly different. The way you can change the way that your pairs are laid out on your template is to go up to window, and you can choose tile window, which this is what this is, tile window. So if I do that, nothing's going to change. You can cascade, but that doesn't do you any good, because to trade out of 3 time frames you need to be able to see them. So this is not good for that, for trading out of a profile. But trading out of a horizontal this is perfect. However, it rearranges them kind of any way at once. So we want the 4 hour on top, and we're going to bring the 15-minute down, so you can rearrange these. And if this is how you like your profile, rather than having them laid out this way, if you like them horizontal like this, which I think is much better, you can see this is the current candle, and your eye can just drop down and you can see in these 3 time frames what's happening with the price. So if I want to resave my day trade Euro US dollar profile, if I want to save it in this format, you have to resave it. You have to overwrite it. So go back up to File, click Profiles, click Save As, and you're going to choose it. You're going to save the Euro US dollar day trade, because this is the profile setup for day trade. So now we're going to save it. It's going to ask if we want to overwrite, and you say yes. Now let's change this day trade profile setup to a scalping setup. So first of all, I like to use a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute chart for scalping. So we can change the top. Well, actually we don't even have to. We can just drag it up. Doesn't really matter, because you're going to just change the time frames anyway. Just want to show you how you can drag these things around. We're going to create a 3 time frame setup for scalping. So we want the 15-minute chart on top. We want the middle chart to be changed to 5 minutes. So go over here and change that to 5 minute. And the bottom chart we want to change to a 1 minute. So there you go. Now you have your Euro USD scalping set up, but now we need to rename it. So go back to File, Profiles, Save As. You can choose your day trade, but you're going to call it scalping or just scalp. But we have to change the numbers. So it's 1 minute, 5 minute, 15. So that's our scalp. So now we have our Euro USD scalp set up, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. It's the way you use it. If I want to scalp, now I already know by the box color up here that the trend is up. So I know I'm only going to be looking for buy trades, but we have to consider the retracement. So right now in the 15-minute chart, the price is definitely in a retracement. And in the 5-minute chart, back here is the early reversal arrow, so it thinks it found the bottom in a 5-minute chart. So if I see the 5-minute chart turn to everything is green or blue, then I can consider that the retracement is over. And in the 1-minute chart, this is where you actually enter your trade, is using the 1-minute chart. You can see it's really in the 1-minute chart, it's been in a range. Once we see that the price turns greenish bluish, everything turns green or blue in the 5-minute chart, and it's the same colors in the 1-minute chart, we can use the 1-minute chart for our entry. Now if you're using the easy order script, I always put the easy order script on the highest time frame. So I would go down, I would have my navigator window open, and I would have my favorites open. I would have already, when I set up the trading system, according to the other training video, I would have dragged my easy order script into favorites, and I would have also dragged my Cynthia's Trailing EA into favorites. So they're in the favorites. So you find that by navigator favorites. And so I would drag my easy order onto the 15-minute chart, and then click it for either buy or sell. choose my lot size, and then once I see that in a 5-minute chart the retracement is over and the price is going back up, then I consider placing my trade, but only when the 1-minute chart confirms everything. So I actually time my entry using the faster 1-minute chart, but I watch for the retracement to be over in the 5-minute chart, and also I can see it sometimes in a 15-minute chart, but it'll be lagging. The reason why I use the easy order on the higher time frame is because it automatically will place my stop loss and take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, which is not really the best risk to reward ratio to use. I like using a 2-to-1, so I would manually double click on the take profit line and drag it up so that the take profit is at least at a 2-to-1 or maybe even 3-to-1. And if I'm using the Cynthia's Trailing EA Trade Manager, then I would have chosen the scalping or even the extra fast scalping, depending on the market. The market's really slow right now, so I don't need the extra fast scalping. If it's moving really fast, the extra fast scalping is really nice, but the market's pretty slow right now, so I would just use the scalping. And even a scalp trade can stay open for hours if the market's really slow. So I don't want to sit here and watch it. That's why I use the Trade Manager. But the easy order needs to be on the higher time frame so that you don't reach the stop out too quickly and you don't reach your take profit too quickly. So especially the stop out, the trade always needs room to breathe. And if you put the easy order in the 5-minute chart or the 1-minute chart, you'd get stopped out way too fast. So that's not really the best way to do it. Now let's change these charts to Euro USD scalp setup. So select the top, select pound US dollar, and change that. And let's select the 5-minute chart and select the 1-minute chart, drag the pound US dollar over onto it. Now we can go to File, Profiles, Save As, and all we have to do is find our scalp and just change the first little word to pound, GBP, and say OK. Now you have this for your scalp. Now I really like to scalp in the pound yen, so why don't we set up a scalping? Choose the pound yen. I've chosen the 15-minute chart. Choose the middle 5-minute. Choose the pound yen. And choose the 1-minute. Choose the pound yen. And I'm dragging it over. You can see that. Now let's save this. Profiles, Save As. You can save as scalp and change the US dollar to yen. So JPY. So now I have my scalp profile all ready to go for the pound yen. You can see if you click down here, you can see all of your profiles. We have the pound yen scalp, the pound US dollar scalp, and the euro US dollar scalp. So if you want to choose one of these profiles to trade out of, just click down here and choose it, and it'll set it up for you. So far I've created 3 pairs for scalping and only 1 pair for swing trading. No, 2 pairs for swing trading, only 1 pair for day trade. So let's create, let's choose the Euro US dollar day trade, and I like to use the pound yen also for day trading. So let's just select the top charts, select the pound yen, then select the bottom chart, pound yen, and let's go save this as our new. Click Profile, Save As. This is day trade, so we're going to change the name, GBPJPY, day trade. Okay, now I also like to day trade the pound New Zealand. You can also swing trade that. It works really good for a swing trade. So select your 4-hour chart. Select your pound New Zealand, middle chart, pound New Zealand, bottom chart, pound New Zealand. Let's go save it as a new profile. Profile, Save As, and this is a day trade, so change JPY to NZD. So this is our new day trade profile. I just need one more swing trade profile. I really like the pound New Zealand for swing trading, so I'm going to go choose my swing. This is pound New Zealand, but I'm going to change. So select the top chart, select pound New Zealand. Let's save it for our swing trade profile. Save as. This is our swing, so NZD. There we go. Now if you look down here, we have Euro US dollar day trade and swing. And here's our Euro US dollar scalp. Here's our pound US dollar swing, pound US dollar scalp. Do we have a pound US dollar day trade? Nope. I don't know why. So let's click on a day trade. There's our day trade. Let's go back to the pound US dollar. Click pound US dollar. We've selected by left mouse clicking in the top chart. Drag it over. Now click into the middle chart, drag it over. Click into the bottom chart, drag it over. So now profiles, save as. If you forget what you're working with, just look down here. Pound yen day trade. But we can choose the Euro US dollar day trade and just change it to pound. So we have all of the profiles that we need. Now say you made a mistake and you want to get rid of something here that you just made a mistake. You have to go up here to File, open Data Folder, open Profiles. Whoops, I'm using 3 monitors. I have to drag this over. Okay, so I went to File, open, I'll do it again. Go to File, open Data Folder, open Profiles. You can see all the profiles. If there's one in here that you want to delete because you made a mistake, just highlight it and right mouse click and click Delete, and then it's gone. So then you have to refresh your chart, and you can do it 2 ways. You can go into Navigator, right mouse click and click refresh, or you can shut down your trading platform, top right corner red and white X, shut down your trading platform and reopen it. And then when you look down here, whatever you've deleted won't show up down here. I can't think of anything else. That's how you create your profiles. And to trade out of them, always trade according to the colored box. And you can see here in the pound US dollar 4-hour chart, we're on the candle where it reached the high of the day. That's the height of the box. So this was the opening of the day, and the price got all the way up here, and now we're showing a early reversal arrow, and that means that if it really did reach the high of the day already and the price does not continue going up, if the price starts to fall back down again, this arrow will stay fixed on this candle. However, if the price keeps going up, the arrow will jump to the next candle. But if once it finds the actual high, then 2 candles later is when the price starts reversing. Now it happens earlier in a faster time frame. So here in the 1-hour time frame, you can see the candle before we had the early reversal arrow, and it stayed fixed because this new candle does not have it. So that means it really actually did find the high of the day. And now the price is starting to fall a little bit, but it hasn't. It's usually the second candle after this arrow stays fixed. So we have 1 more candle. So in 6 more minutes, and I'll pause the video just to prove this to you. I'm not going to sit here for 6 minutes and talk, but I'll pause the video and prove it to you that on the next candle, the price will have actually fallen and reversed, so that you can see that we are actually having a little bit of a trend change, which actually For trading purposes, this would be looking for a retracement. So once you see in the higher time frame the reversal candle, go look at the middle time frame and see what the reversal candle is doing, or reversal arrow rather. If it's 2 bars back, then you can know that the price actually is falling, the price is reversing, and then you can see it even more clearly in the next faster time frame, which is for day trading would be the 15-minute time frame. And back here we had the early reversal arrow. You can see it didn't ever push any higher, so it stayed fixed on this candle, and 2 candles after that is when the candle actually turned red. And here you have the early entry, but you ignore that because we know that we're not taking any sell trades. We're only interested in buy trades because the box is blue, and of course the SAR dots are still green. And on the bottom here, at least the price channel stop is magenta and the candles themselves are red. And finally here you have the SAR dots are pink and on top. So now we're seeing the price fall. However, we don't know when it's going to stop falling and then start to go back up again, and that's what we're waiting for. So we can see this. We know that the price is going up, the price is going up, but we can see the reversal in the 15-minute chart. And when this price starts going back up again, that's our re-entry. It means the pullback is over, and you'll see the candle turn green. Everything will turn green or blue, and even in this bottom window you'll have the RSI and the trend in flat will turn green again. And your final confirmation, of course, is always the zero lagged MACD in the very bottom window. You can't really see it when these everything is so squished together. So that's the only drawback of having the horizontal layout, because you really need to see, your final confirmation for entry is when the zero lag, the black signal line, crosses above the white line for your re-entry after the retracement is over. So this is a good way to just see at a glance what's happening right now, and you can understand what's happening right now. But if you're interested in actually placing a trade after the retracement is over, you really kind of have to change your layout. So go back up to window and go to tile windows, and that way you have the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and you can watch the 15-minute chart much better. You can actually see your indicators. Here's your volatility windows. So I wouldn't consider going long until the 15-minute chart is actually, everything is turned green or blue. So here the windows are opened and you can really see actually the indicators much better in the bottom windows, and you really need to see these indicators. Also the GMACD, this is your multi-time frame indicator down here, and in order to decide if you're ready to go long again, to jump in after the retracement, the M1 needs to be green, the M5 needs to be green, and because you're in a 15-minute chart you need to see the M5 turn green. I'm just going to open this up right now and show you, because this bottom window is really important. So at a glance, I mean, truthfully, if you learn how to use this bottom window, the GMACD window for retracements and trend, you don't even need the 3 chart setup, the 3 time frame setup, because you can do it all down here. You have all of these different time frames that you can take a look at. So when this price starts, it's starting to head back up, but you know, we're watching it, so we're just going to wait. But you can see the 1 minute and 5 minute, the trend is up, but still in the 15-minute chart, this is our little retracement. Until this turns green, you wouldn't even consider entering into a buy trade, but everything is up, all the trend is up. We're just having a pullback, but now we're waiting for the 15-minute to turn green, and at that point the zero lag MACD will, this black signal line will have crossed above the white line. The trend and flat will be green. The RSI will be turned up above 50 and be green. All of this will be green. The SAR dots will be green, and on the bottom again, the candle will be green. The this indicator here, price channel stop, will be aqua again, like it was here. So this is our retracement, and you can see it. You can just keep your eye on it here, but this is your confirming volatility windows, and then the 15-minute needs to turn green. When all of those things confirm each other, it might sound like a lot, but it's really not. It's pretty simple. You're just playing a waiting and watching game, and if the price doesn't go up, then you're not going to be entering into the trade, especially if the volatility is not strong enough. So you need these volatility windows to confirm. So I was going to wait and see what happened in the 1 hour chart, but here we go, where the RSI is, but it's flat and it's under the 50 RSI line. So right now the volatility is very flat, but if the price starts to push up again, we're just going to wait and look in the 30-minute chart, 15, 30, and 1 hour. Now it's not confirming. So if the price is not going any higher, it could have already reached the high for the day, and maybe we're just done for the day. And these need to turn green, and everything needs to confirm. Now the price wants to go a little bit higher, so but we don't have the confirming MACD, and the 15-minute really needs to turn green. And when the 1 hour is green and the 15 minutes green, and the SAR dots are on the bottom, and all of this is green, and the zero MACD, zero lag MACD crosses, then we can enter our buy trade. But remember, we need to be using the 4 hour chart for the easy order, and the 1 hour chart we're watching. This is a very shallow retracement, and when in the advanced system we use the Fibonacci retracement tool, which actually shows you the percent values on the right hand side. It'll draw the Fibonacci lines for you, and it'll tell you the percentage, so you can see what percentage drawback this actually is. In the basic chart, we don't know. I can eyeball this and tell you this is a very shallow retracement. Shallow retracements, when the price resumes, it doesn't go very far. And being late in the morning, and this was already the high of the day, I may not be real interested in placing a buy trade at the top of the price for the day. I mean, this is part of the subjective analysis that you have to learn how to do. I'm going to show you in the 1 hour chart. I'm going to apply the template for the advanced and show you the Fibonacci retracement tool, because I want to see exactly how deep this retracement was. It's probably not even a 23.6 retracement. So I'm going to pause the video just for a second, and I'm going to go apply the advanced chart, and we'll see what the Fibonacci retracement percentage of the retracement actually was, how deep the retracement actually was. Okay, I've applied the advanced template, and you can see that it's exactly the same thing, but here's your Fibonacci retracement tool. It found the bottom back here, and because it draws a triangle for you. So this is the high for the day. There's a dashed green line. It's kind of hard to see, and it connects down here with the low, which was the previous day. So this is the high so far, and the green Fibonacci triangle is telling you that the trend for the current candle right now is up. So this is all on the latest price action. It's all reflecting what's happening on the current candle. If you can see what the retracement was, here are your Fibonacci retracement levels. Here's 61.8. Now that would be a really, really deep retracement. A 50% retracement would be down if the price had pulled back down this far. That's a very deep retracement and really almost ideal. It would give you the biggest momentum push forward for continuing uptrend. Here's the 38.2. If the price had pulled back to that, I would have said, oh great, that's a really nice strong pullback. It means when the trend resumes, it's going to be very strong. But I told you that I didn't even think that it pulled back to the 23.6, and here is the 23.6 Fibonacci level, and it never did. It just very barely pulled back to it. So that's a very weak, a very shallow pullback. And it means that when the price resumes to the upside, it's not going to have very much force and it's not going to go very far. So because of that, this is my analysis. We found a pullback, we found the retracement, we found the high of the day. We know we're only looking for buy trades, but I really don't like to jump in and buy at the top. And especially when the pullback was so shallow, there's not going to be any force. Even if I jumped into a buy trade, I don't think it's going to have enough force to push past this Fibonacci. It found this is the top of the day, 0.00. The other thing is, if you pull down your window, you can't really see it, but the top of the day actually was a key level. 1.32250. That's a minor key level. So the price bounced off the minor key level of what you can't see it because it's behind this Fibonacci dashed line, but it is a blue dashed line. That's the sweet spot. You can see it. That's 1.32250 is a minor key level. That is a minor key level, and the price did not push past it. It bounced off of it, retraced a little bit, and it looks like it's going to try and push through it again. However, we've already pushed past resistance 1. We did that early this morning, and then several hours, well, this was probably in the middle of the night. Here's resistance 2, which you can see it kind of banged up against resistance 2 and then pulled back a little bit. And then it did manage on this candle to push past it, but this is a dashed magenta line. So right on this 23.6 Fibonacci retracement is also a major key level of, let's see if there's a sweet spot, 1.32000. That's a major key level. The major key levels end in 50 and 00, and this was a major key level, which you can see it could not push past this resistance 2, which is the major key level. So it bounced off of it. It tried almost 3 times, 2 times for sure. Bounced off, really bounced, pulled back. This was the re-entry after the pullback, and the price reached this minor key level of 1.3225. That was the high of the day. So again, I don't like to buy at the top of the day, at the high of the day, especially going into the afternoon. There's absolutely no sense. The next resistance level is not really that far away. If you look with your crosshairs, where's my crosshairs? My toolbar changes all the time, so it's hard to find things sometimes. There's my crosshair. Here's where we are. What kind of risk to reward, what kind of gain would we possibly have if we decided to jump in long? That's only 31 pips to the next resistance, and it's 41 pips to the next key level of 1.3250. That is the next key level. So 40 pips possible. If I were to scalp, I would have to, if I thought I wanted to do this with such a small gain, I would have to drop down to my scalping chart. I'm in a day trade chart. If I thought that I wanted to take on that kind of risk and hope that it pushed past the high of the day, which I don't know that it will, especially with such a shallow retracement, the price is it's very weak. It just doesn't have any momentum. You can see the RSI, it's high, it's at the 70 level, but it's red, and the trend and flat bars are gray. Now the MACD is actually crossed down below the The signal line is crossed down below the white line, so it's reversing. So all of this is telling me that there's no more room to the upside. I am not interested in trading this. I don't care that this all resumes very strongly. I didn't, unless I'm willing to risk for a gain of 30 to 40 pips in the afternoon. If you pull this down, you can see we're in the basic chart now, so you can't really see, but there's just no oomph to this. This is already played out for the day. That's how you analyze. That's one way you can use the Fibonacci retracement tool and your minor and major key levels, which are in the advanced system. I don't know what else I can tell you at this point. This trading is very slow, but the trading is fast. Maybe not as often as we would like. Most of the time we're going to be in a range with low volatility, and you have to really develop your analysis skills to determine if you even want to bother placing a trade. I mean, this is a high risk thing here. If I were interested in trading, I would go look at the pound yen, because the pound US dollar, we're going into the afternoon of the US session, and this particular pair is played out. But we're going into the Asian session. Actually, Asian session starts after 5 p.m. Eastern, but at before that, we're actually going to be in the New Zealand Australian session, which the pound yen or the pound New Zealand or the pound Aussie, those are better going into the late afternoon before the Asian session, or better pairs to look at. But I'm going to take a look at the pound yen day trade chart and see if we have any more room to the upside. Now, right off the glance in the 4-hour pound yen, look at how narrow this box is today. I mean, look at how it's not very high. It's not very tall. Compared to yesterday, look at how big this box was. Today's box is half the size, so that's telling you the trading range today and the volatility was weak compared to yesterday. So you have conflicting colors here. The SAR dot's on top, so and you can't see it very well, but here's the RSI is red. So that tells me all of these colors are not agreeing. So right off the bat in a 4-hour chart, I'm not interested in really looking too much further at this pair. But even though in the 1-hour chart, you know, everything looks good for a buy, and in the 15-minute chart you have, in the 15-minute chart it's got the early reversal arrow, so that's telling you in a 15-minute chart it may not want to go any higher. I'm not really interested in this pair at this time either. However, we're going into in a couple hours we'll be in the New Zealand, so we could change this. I haven't set up a profile yet for or did I? Let's go look. Yes, I did. But because it's so slow, I don't know. We can look at a pound New Zealand day trade chart. The box was a little taller today, so it had more momentum, more range than the pound yen. It's banging up against the high of the day in the 1-hour chart and in the 4-hour chart. So I don't know that it has more room to the upside. Even in a 15-minute chart, it's banging up here at the high of the day. So it's in a range. You can see it's in a range, and even in a 1-hour chart you can see it's in a range. So I'm not interested in that pair. I don't know what else to look at. It's just the worst time of the day, but at least this teaches you how to decide not to trade. It's very important that you can analyze these 3 time frames and decide not to trade, because if you buy at the top of the day or sell at the low of the day, where's the trade going to go? What possibility does it have? And I like the advanced course because at least I can see at a glance what the key levels are. But even in the basic course, the resistance is very, very important. Let's open up the 4-hour chart and look at the resistance. Okay, in the 4-hour chart, the pound New Zealand, which is one of my favorite pairs, it really can move. It's sitting right at resistance 2 with the early reversal candle. Everything is still very bullish, but Look at how oversold the RSI is. It's way above 70. And now the trend in flat candles are gray. So that's telling you the trend is flat. And look at this for the last 12 hours. The price has not been able to push past this candle. In the bottom window, the zero lag MACD is touching this, the signal line is touching the zero line, so it's coming down. And finally, if you look at the GMACD window, 1 minute is down, 5 minute is up. So the 5 minute is sideways. You can see that just by looking. The main trend has been down. Well, in the 15 minute, 30 and 1 hour chart, the main trend is down. That's just because it's not going anywhere for the last 12 hours. But overall in the H4 chart and the day 1 chart, the trend is up. So that's why we have a blue box. However, because the price is not pushing any further up and the early reversal arrow shows that we hit the high of the day, it now thinks the trend is down because the trend is not really going up anymore. But it says the trend down is medium. So it's not a strong downtrend. It would say strong if it was strong, if you saw this all turn red or this all turn red. But the trend is, it's just flat is what it's telling you. So any time in the GMACD, this is your 9 time frames if you want to count monthly, which I don't really pay attention to weekly or monthly myself. But all of these are mixed, so it's just untradeable. That's what it means. And I don't even have to go look at any other time frames to know I want nothing to do with this. I want to see some retracement before I consider buying again. Or I could even be looking for a major trend change, because if the H4 turns red and all of these 15 minute, 30 minute and 1 hour are red, then we're looking at a potential complete trend change. So right now this chart is just totally untradeable. So that's about it for today. This is already a long video. I didn't intend for it to be long, but I hope that you learned how to use your 3 time frame setup, how to create the 3 time frame and how to turn them into profiles, and how to analyze the charts using the 3 time frames. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got something out of this, and I hope I didn't put you to sleep. I've been up since very early trading, so you can hear my voice is a little tired. So I think it's time for me to sign off, and I'm going to go do something fun. I think I'm going to take my dog to the beach and go swimming.